Hi guys, it's me, Shaniqua, and I realized recently that I never did an introduction video to you all, so y'all don't really know that much about me. And I did reach 100 subscribers, so I'm definitely gonna do that. But today I actually have a collaboration video with a couple of YouTubers. It's way too many to name, so I'm gonna put all of their links in the description box. And we're also gonna make a playlist. But basically, we want to get the perspective after the election from women. And so we have a list of questions and everything that I'm going to go through. Sorry about I don't have like a fancy backdrop. I'm a vlogger, so I'm not usually in one location, but I'm going to get it together, I promise. Okay, and the first question that we have on the list is, what was your first reaction to learning Trump was president? Well, today is the day after the election, so how I felt is pretty. Actually, I still feel the same way. I was really sad when I found out that he was president, because I feel like this wasn't a win for Donald Trump per se. It was a win for racism, for sexism, for classism, for literally anything that you could think of. And it was very disheartening. I kind of felt a a ball in the pit of my stomach, like this is really how America feels. America wasn't progressive enough to vote in a woman after a black president. And it really just shows where we are as a nation, really. I feel like I got put in my place, so to speak. Really? Okay, so I mentioned I didn't have a tripod, right? Because I'm a vlogger, I'm not used to this. All right. Okay, so back to the question. I'm gonna move on to question 2. How did you feel about Trump's slogan "Make America Great Again"? I feel a lot of ways about it, actually, because saying you're gonna make America great again is completely neglected so many years where people didn't have equal rights. We're not thinking about the civil rights movement or anything like that. We're basically just talking about white privilege, to be honest, because we are leaving out so many people. Let's make America great, maybe, but not let's make America great again, especially considering everything that's going on in the media with black men and just the way that people of color are being treated, period. Okay, and question 3 is, what was it that made you decide to support or not support our elected president? The thing that made me not support Trump, well, actually, there's a multitude of things. I didn't like the fact that he sat up and made fun of a disabled reporter, because I used to work with kids with special needs, so that really hit me. I also didn't like the grabbing of the pussies comment. That was kind of outlandish. I didn't like the build the wall idea. There's a lot of things that I didn't agree with Trump running for president. Honestly, didn't even feel like he had a platform, which is another reason why I really wasn't for him. Not to mention the fact that he's a reality TV star. He can't control his temper. He's a bully. He is sexist, makes all of these racist comments about people of Hispanic origin, and being a person of color. That's not a candidate I could get behind at all. Question 4 is, how do you feel about the people who opted not to vote or voted the Green Party? I personally would never knock anyone for voting the Green Party. I think their intentions are to choose a candidate that aligns with their ideas. So I would never fault someone for voting the Green Party. I think the two-party republic that we have right now has a lot of issues, and there's no room for anybody else, unfortunately, at this point. But I think with a lot of legislature and different laws in place, like maybe we can dismantle that two-part system so that we can have people with different ideas and different plans for the United States, actually have a chance to see that come to life. Now, the people who didn't vote, I feel, I don't know, like I'm kind of on the fence with, because on one hand, it's like you really can't complain. But on the other hand, it's like our ancestors, people in the civil rights movement fought for the ability for us to vote. They didn't say that we had to. I mean, I don't know. Like, I just really feel like it's something that should be exercised. Like, that's just my thoughts. That's my feelings. I think that everyone should exercise their right to vote, because it affects everyone. It doesn't just affect you. It doesn't just affect your parents. It doesn't just affect, your siblings. It affects the people around you. And I think that with Trump winning, we really just saw a large number of people that said that they don't care about the LGBT community. They don't care about people of color. They just want jobs, which is what I've been seeing a lot of people say. But honestly, the sexism and the issues that I saw within his campaign just makes it impossible for me to believe that, there's not something else, that these people are feeling besides wanting jobs or looking out for veterans, which is also something that I saw. But I also saw that, I don't know, like, it's just a lot. It's very disheartening. And we have question 5. How do you think Trump being president will bring minorities together? Honestly, with so much of white America voting for Trump, I think that it is forcing people of color to really take a look at ourselves and really just, I don't know, like really just understand how they feel about us. And when I say they, I don't mean everyone, because obviously everyone doesn't feel that way. But we saw last night that a greater majority of white America just doesn't care. So with that being said, we have to come together and we have to, I don't want to say dismantle the system, but just work harder together so that we can ensure that when it's time to elect another president in 2020, that we vote for someone that is inclusive, that we, vote in Congress and senators that actually care about people of color and want to see us succeed. But even more than that, we need to start supporting each other. We need to, support Black businesses, support small, businesses, support everyone, really. Question 6 asks, how has the election affected things with your family and friends? Well, most of my friends, my close friends anyway, are African American, or they're Asian American, and I mean, I guess I can say it brought us closer together. Nothing brings people closer together like a common enemy. And I hate to say enemy, but that's really the atmosphere that Trump has created with this campaign. Like I said before, it was a win for sexism, for racism, etc., etc. So I really feel like that's the enemy, and that's what we're fighting right now. And just to see every day, these racist people shouting Trump, Trump, Trump. How are we supposed to feel about Trump supporters? if this is what we see on a daily basis, if these are the people that we interact with on a daily basis, it gives a negative connotation to all of Trump supporters, unfortunately. Okay, so question 7 is a little different. It asks, do the results change your plans for the next few years? Do you see yourself in the same place you plan to be? Yes. My answer is absolutely yes. Nothing about what I want to do has changed. Nothing about where I see myself has changed. The only thing has changed is maybe planning for my battery died. But I was saying that I really don't see anything changing. I really don't. My plan for my family is still the same. My plan for my career is still the same. I graduated with my master's in June. No, actually I graduate in April. The end of April, but I actually get my master's, mailed and everything in June after I finish my last class. But no, nothing has changed. Nothing will change. We just have a president that has brought out the worst in people. Well, actually, I wouldn't even say it brought out the worst in people. It just made them more comfortable to be who they are, to be their sexist, racist selves. It's really sad that I feel like we've made a step back as a country. We have Klansmen running for office. Not necessarily Donald Trump, so that's not what I'm saying. But, there have been Klansmen running for, governors and mayors in southern states in America. We have definitely moved backwards. I mean, Klansmen have supported Donald Trump openly, white supremacists. So, I'm not sure how we're supposed to separate the two. Maybe someone can help me understand. Okay, question 8 is, what do you think about the fact that the majority of white women voted for Donald Trump? This was actually my question, and I feel very strongly about this, and I have for quite some time, because I consider myself a feminist, and when I say I consider myself a feminist, I believe in equality for all women, regardless of race or class. Now, the difference that I've noticed between white feminism and feminism is that white feminism is exclusive while feminism is inclusive. So we can even think about all of these women dropping their I voted stickers on Susan B. Anthony's grave. I hate to break it to y'all, but Susan B. Anthony was not for women of color. She separated herself as much as she possibly could from people of color. That's what she did in order to try to push the movement for women, white women, to be able to vote. She, there was even a quote, and I wish I had it pulled up with me, but there was a quote where she literally said she's appalled to be considered, at the same level or lower than black people. But white women praise her. I don't praise her. And I feel like white women still take these ideologies from Susan B. Anthony and they apply it to their feminism. I can think of a million examples. We can think about even Taylor Swift and the whole Nicki Minaj thing, but that's a completely different story. I won't go there. But I just really feel that white feminism is just exclusive. It's different because they put their race, in this election specifically, they put their race before they did their gender. And I say this because Donald Trump is sexist. He's sexist. Like, there's literally no way around it. And you have more than half of white women go out and vote for him, but don't vote to elect another white woman into office. So that was kind of baffling to me because, you know, I'm like, oh, Hillary's gonna win because, these white women about to get out and vote for her, but less than 50% of white women voted for Hillary Clinton. Meanwhile, I believe the number was like 90% of black women voted for Hillary. So this is what I mean when I say that white feminism and feminism are just two very, very different things. Black women went out and voted for Hillary. White women didn't. And I think that says a lot in itself about feminism and white women, because you cannot tell me that after the comments that Donald Trump made about women and things that he's done, the fact that he's been accused of raping and molesting children and women, it's insane. How can you vote this man into office? Like, I don't know. It's really sad, guys, because he's perpetuating rape culture with his comments. We keep saying how we want that to change, yet y'all just voted Donald Trump into office. Okay, y'all. So I just realized that I answered question 8 and 9 together. But it was a really great question. The 9th question was, how does this election show the problem with white feminism and the need for intersectionality? Definitely just answered that all together. So we're going to go on to number 10. Question 10 asks, how does a president-elect accused of sexual assault affect you in your approach to safety? Guys, remember what I said a little bit earlier about rape culture? So we know that rape culture is a serious issue, a very serious issue in America. Women are raped on college campuses every day. And it's really such a shame that women feel like they can't come forward because, we have cases like Brock Turner. He was found guilty of rape and had to do 3 months in jail, if that. It's insane to me. It doesn't make me feel safe at all. America just voted in a man who is literally accused of sexual assault. If Obama was accused of sexual assault, do you think he would have won the election? Do you think he would have come close to winning the election? There's literally no way. And I don't know, it doesn't make me feel safe at all. There are so many women that already don't come forward after being violated, their body being violated because of the emotional turmoil that going through the court puts you through, the humiliation. They make you replay everything. They put your sexual history on trial. That's literally what they do. So no, I don't feel safe as a woman. Y'all just voted in a man who was accused of sexual assault. What's gonna happen if it happens to you? These 52% of white women that voted for Donald Trump. What happens if it's you? What happens if it's your daughter, your sister? These are things that we have to think about when we're electing these politicians. We're basically saying it doesn't matter. Sexual assault just doesn't matter, because you can apparently be accused of doing something so heinous and still be elected into office. That is really baffling to me. It's scary. Okay, question 12 is, does this result affect your motivation to vote in the next election? I mean, I was already motivated to vote, but now I'm like, I mean, I guess I'm more motivated, but I was already motivated to vote. Like, I was only able to vote. My first time voting was when in 2012. So, this is only my second election, and this feels like the biggest fail of all time. Um, I don't know. I'm definitely voting. I think that more millennials should get out there and get in those offices the next time, when the next 4 years come by. Let's get more of us into the Senate, into the House. That's what we need to really make change. It's really sad. You know, we were filled with a lot of grief today. I had to ask my coworkers if they were okay today. And it's a sad day when you have to do that just because of a presidential election. Like, people are literally frightened of what's going to happen in the next 4 years. Okay, so I am going to end this here. I'm also going to, I think I said this earlier, but I'm gonna put the link to everybody's videos down here, and I encourage you all to look at it and see everyone's different views and viewpoints. See from the perspective of different women, and how we feel and how we're dealing with everything that's going on. So, thank you all for watching.